shaky, 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 boom, 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 shaky, 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 boom.
What's up, divine babies?
Welcome back to the Spiritually Sexy Podcast, episode 11 with your girl,
Pearl
and Amber,
where we invite open dialogue about infinite intimacies, connecting with oneself and others, the seen and the unseen. I had to swallow. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. I had to swallow. I think because I got a new piercing, guys. So the piercing makes my mouth water a lot. Welcome back to the Spiritually Sexy Podcast. So just so you guys know, I am not up to par today. Your girl's shoulder is on fire. I'm hurting. I went to the ortho, so I'm gonna do my best. And I asked my bestie, my sister, my wife, please, pick up the pieces for me.
Good luck. Good luck.
I will do whatever that means.
I will do my best.
I love you, babe. So, guys, welcome back to the Spiritually Sexy Podcast, episode 11. We're at episode 11. Yeah, I'm just like for real. It's crazy, right, babe? Episode 11?
Crazy. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, guys. So, first things first, before we get into anything, you already know what's up. So, first things first, we want to shout out Facebook, because Facebook is Facebooking.
Yeah.
We had 10K followers. We are so filled with, me and Amber was screaming yesterday. Screaming. We're just so filled with gratitude. I mean, I don't think there's words to explain how excited and how we love what we're doing here.
We've been beating the pavement.
Definitely, but it's almost like, I don't want to use the word, it's so cliche, dream come true, but it's literally was just a thought, and it is coming true, and it's just the beginning. It is just the beginning, guys. But we're so grateful. So all our Facebook followers, thank you for the support. Thank you for the shares, the likes, the constant engagement. Thank you. To all our YouTube followers and subscribers and our viewers, we love you guys. Of course, you guys have been there from the start. So we have gratitude for you guys. We love you guys. And our other platforms, IG, TikTok, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for following, subscribing. Please like and share. Go over to our YouTube channel and make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that bell notification so every time we drop something. Matter of fact, just put the notifications on every platform.
Right.
So every time we drop something, you guys are aware that, Pearl and Amber is at it again.
Right. The adventures of Pearl and Amber. You should stay tuned.
They're at it again. Let's see what they're up to now. We're here for you guys, okay? Also, okay. Life has been really lifing, which is a good thing. It's obviously lifing can, even if it's bad, it's enlightenment, it's lessons, it's everything. So, but life has been lifing and in the right direction. But it's kind of got our schedule kind of off. We haven't been able to sit down and do our weekly downloads. To be quite honest, if we really don't have any weekly downloads to do, we're not feel moved to do the weekly download, that's actually a good thing, guys. Because usually our weekly downloads is getting our throat chakra and talking some shit. Okay?
Yeah. And we only move if we're gonna be authentic. I don't want to force nothing.
Exactly. We don't force nothing. Exactly. So, there are things that is happening that it's not meant to talk about right now. So, that part. But, guys, tell us if you love the weekly downloads. Leave us some comments. Leave your comments down below. Email us. Hit us in the DMs. Let us know how you feel about the weekly downloads. We're here for the feedback. Also, we have been getting some feedback from some fans of ours and some viewers of ours that are like consistently showing up, and we love you guys. Okay. I have to say, from even my personal platforms, you guys have been showing up, and I'm so grateful to you guys. And I have dominantly male following, and they've been showing up, and it's crazy to hear that, you know, when they vulnerable and they're like, yeah, I'm going through a breakup too, and it's helping me, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're not taking it up the ass. Like, I'm not like, you're not feeling like we're attacking a specific gender or anything. Like, we're just speaking, you know, we're having open dialogue. Yeah, it's really about the human experience. It has nothing to do with specific genders or anything. Sometimes we do talk shit about, you know, the male species, but we also hold the women's species accountable as well. So when I hear them, you know, be vulnerable, like, hey, Pearl, you know, I listen to your podcast. I listen to y'all podcast. I read the newsletter. It's helping me in my journey right now. That really means a lot to me. So they've been giving feedback. They said sometimes the background music, even though it's dope, we need to work on lowering it a little bit, I guess, so they can really like pay more attention to the podcast, which is something that we will be executing. It's not done purposely, obviously. So we promise to execute that. Right, Amber? Love you. So yeah, that. So guys, like Amber and I always say, you know, we are here for the open dialogue. We're here for the uncomfortable conversations. We're here for the guidance. We're showing up. I don't fucking feel good, and I'm fucking here. Amber has a whole village that she needs to take care of. She's fucking here. So we this is our baby. We're showing up, okay? So please leave your feedback. We are here for it. We're here. Like, we're here to honor. If it doesn't apply, we let it fly, and that's just what it is. Like, it's okay today. It's okay today. So this podcast, episode 11, Amber, it's a continuation. And I'm hoping that we can get through this podcast. Last week we were 2 hours in, so I'm hoping that we can get through this podcast. I mean, we're not scripted, guys, so we pretty much flow, and that's why it was so long. But it's a continuation of last week's and the week before. And also, if you guys have been reading the newsletter, please, the newsletter is in all of our bios. Like, you can hit the link to get to the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's really like, how can I say that? It's just a little less brief, or more brief. No, it's brief. It's just like, how can I say it? It's a connection to our podcast. So a lot of the conversations that we have, or the subjects that we bring up on our newsletter, is a connection to the episodes that we just finished having, or how we feel led, the conversations that we feel led to have on there. That's the amazing part about having these platforms, is that we get to just talk about stuff and have open dialogue. Even like, it doesn't matter. There's no limits. Like, there's no putting us in a box. You know what I mean? Okay. So if you guys watched last week's, this week is where it's a continuation. Like I said, stay woke, spotting deceitful motives and red flag. Okay. Look, man, it is what it is. It's necessary. It's really necessary. Trust me, Amber and I would love to like go and have a whole different conversation or open dialogue, but this is also necessary to continue finishing this conversation. And we can get really in depth, but we're going to try to make this as brief as possible, okay? So, Amber.
Yes.
4. Excessive charm. Description: laying it on thick with charm to seem perfect and trustworthy.
I wish I met one man that I dated that didn't do that.
Right.
Like, granted, even the good ones, but I would say all of them had, like, what do they call it? The gift of gab. Or the riz, or the charm. They all have that.
I'm pretty much
some
like
kind of
that too. Like sometimes
Mhm.
I say things that sound so unbelievable, but I really be meaning that shit. Like,
Yeah.
like no, I really meant that. I know it sounds smooth, but that's just my
Mhm.
nature. Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
there are people out there that literally
Definitely.
is like have a playbook. Like they have a playbook that they really use, and they is a mental playbook that they
Yeah.
really use on specific type of people, like their type of target. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
they just get better and better with time. You know what I mean? And practice makes perfect, right? And
It's
so
predatory.
yeah, you have to be able to listen to your intuition. Like if that shit, like nah, that ain't sounding like, that don't sound pure. That doesn't sound like it just came from your heart or it came from your head. Like that's how I make you move. You know what I mean? It don't sound like that. It don't feel like that. Listen to your intuition. Red flags, slick talks that feel rehearsed, behaviors that seem too good to be true, and avoiding deep and genuine conversations. Amber, let's talk about it because we already know how you are. Like you're all about
Oh Lord.
depth, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about my wife. If you cannot hold a conversation, she is not talking to you.
I am a monk. I will be
She's
a monk.
not talking to you.
Unfortunately, I won't. I'm typically the person, like I'll be in a room and I have to read the room, see what's going on. It could be a whole live party and I'm literally the one that's like
Yeah.
keeping the energy before I speak. And I tend to not speak unless I'm spoken to.
Right.
And sometimes that pisses people off, but I'm like, if I don't have something meaningful to say, then I should shut up.
Right. So when you say that pisses people off, what do you mean, babe? Like,
because people feel entitled for you to welcome them, no matter what. And I don't feel entitled for people to welcome me. I find it strange. But it's not that I'm not like what's the word? I'm intentionally trying to be like an asshole or something like that.
right.
That's not what
We
it
know
is.
that's not intentional.
But I feel like people forgot the whole stranger danger motto when we were kids.
Right.
And I don't trust everybody.
And you shouldn't, and then you doing the right thing.
And so it's either I get a hit or miss reaction. So I'll either get like, oh, she's off to the side. Let me figure out what she's about. That's intriguing. She's in her own little world. Or it's like, that bitch. That kind of thing, you know. But it is what it is.
Right. You know what's so crazy? Like, every time I say that, I kind of annoy myself when it's so crazy. It's me, though. When I could just read the fuck out of people. I can't look at it. It's really a gift of mine. If I'm wrong, they gotta show me. Okay, I'm from Missouri. You gotta show me. It's a show me state, guys. Okay, you gotta show me that I'm wrong. Okay, and that's not by talking to me. That's by actions. That's by body language. That's by stuff like that. I can read some energy. I can read body language. I'm a personal trainer. I do hair for a living. I've been around. Okay, and 90% of the time, I'm correct about somebody.
Same.
I'm not gonna lie though, I missed the mark with the X.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that because I feel like that's different.
I was getting on myself for that, girl, because I'm like, how the fuck you missed the mark? But I know how. I know how.
I feel like
I know how now because you know, the cosplay. But at the end of the day, like I can read a room. Like I can tell when I'm like, yeah. And so yeah, like that's the thing. So even with me saying I missed the mark, there's some people out there that are really good at manipulating, are really good at putting out energy, because you know what they're doing? They're actually ciphering your energy to reflect that. So you won't pick up on the scheme, the agenda, the motive. And that's mind-boggling how there's some evil people out there, bro, that move like that, yo.
It's very sinister.
It is sinister. I'm just grateful now that I have the knowledge and awareness of that because I didn't know that before. You know what I mean? All right. So we're going to go to isolation tactic. Okay, guys, these are aspects of spotting deceitful motives and red flags. So I just want to remind you guys what this conversation was about. So 5, isolation tactics. I got something about this, girl. Description: trying to cut you off from friends and family. Okay. That can look different. It's never gonna be in your face. It's always gonna be manipulatively. It's always a tactic. There's always a tactic of how people it's tactical. People are very tactical when they do that, especially manipulative people. They're very tactical on how they go about separating you and isolating you from like people that you know, places that you used to go to, even people that you met with, like as you met this person and they known y'all, they seen y'all come together, and it can happen. It's
my experience has been like they package it as this like, it's okay, you can depend on me, like in a positive way, but the reality of it is they want you to solely depend on them so they can fuck you over. Depend on them in different ways, because I don't know if it's common or if it's just an everything, but I'm a sucker for love and I get so wrapped up in it. And I get so not possessive, but like so in love with the person and where we're going and what we're doing. I don't know. I just be in my own fucking world with it. Apparently, in my own fucking world with it, but yeah, they just want you to be dependent. And typically, I would say with me, I usually am a very independent person, and I'm okay with doing everything on my own, but I have noticed in relationships, they're like, no, let me help you take the load off. And that's why I'd be in fear of that shit, because there's some fuck shit behind it. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely, because, and this is the sad thing, right? So I've been in a situation where it was reverse psychology all the time being played. So the same way they're like, let me help you take the load off, the same way they be like, no, you should go do that. You should go do that. You should go start trying to do things on your own. And knowing that I'm like, I don't want to be around nobody else. I just want to be a us thing. Like I'm all about us. Like I don't care for that. They're like, no. Knowing I'm gonna be like, knowing that those are gonna be my words. No, I don't want to do that because I want it to be a us thing. Knowing that I'm that person. They will
knowing that you're gonna have like emotional breakdown, legit emotional, because you're so used to these.
It's not even codependency. It's just like routine. Like we're partnership. Like if you're with somebody that you can't stand being around, then that don't need to be your motherfucking partner. You know what I mean? Like that you don't want to do everything with. Now, granted, it's healthy to do things. It's healthy to do things on your own time, right? But they shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have to be pushed to do it. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't push you to do it. And a lot of times when they push you to do it, it's reverse psychology. You did it, so now they can go when it's time for them, because they're calculated as fuck. When they have their moment, they be like, well, I kind of like, motivated you to go do that. Why don't you do the same for me? Nah, it's just reverse psychology, honey. Like,
like if their intentions were good, well, we look at like habits. What do they say? I believe it takes 21 days to create new habits. So the whole like abrupt, I don't want to do this with you, I want to do this and that is traumatic as fuck.
Oh, very.
Because it's not, you don't even have preparation to mentally and emotionally. I could see if someone gradually was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it. This is why we want to do this. That's never the case. That's never the fucking case. And the reality of it is that's fucking traumatic to somebody. Like, and I'm not trying to compare it to children, but that's the best example I could give. Like, if I took one of my toddlers and just told them to go away from me down the street, they're gonna freak the fuck out.
Right.
And it's no different from somebody else. Or, like, okay, with us when we live together or whatever, it's gonna be traumatic if you you know what I mean? That's rightfully so, because you're so used to become accustomed to thriving with this person, and you're taking away, you know, their sense of not just comfortability, but it's just fucking traumatic. I wouldn't recommend it.
It is though. It really is. When you say it, like, I hate that codependent stuff. Like, when you are a healthy person, it shouldn't be labeled as a codependency. It should be labeled as, that's my person. You know what I mean? That's my person. I love being with my person no matter what. But people make it so toxic. You know?
Well, it's like, they should be, if they're like, that's where I get the like, oh, like your person should be like your best friend, because romance goes, like, let's go ahead and put that out there. It goes,
absolutely.
But if I genuinely rock with you, we can be friends. The respect never should go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you know, may not be in that kind of vibe, but hey, let's, you know, kind of thing. And so I think that's where you realize that you have a romantic connection with people, but you don't have a friendship with your partner, and that sucks.
Yeah, because I was definitely, I can say for my past situation, I was definitely like, go down. Like, I was like, oh my God, I would ride with you till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? Like, but, and it definitely, when it was convenient for them, it was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to ride with you. I don't want to do that with you. And I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. It was devastating. It was definitely devastating.
Yeah, you ever seen that movie?
Even with me and you, let's be transparent. Even with me and you, like, for like, when we had our separation, like, it was traumatic for me. You know what I mean? Having my best friend, we literally talk every fucking day, bro. Like even back then, like, we talked every fucking day. Like, there's not a day that go by we didn't talk about life, aliens, dimensions, universe, astrology. You know, shit was going on. Like, girl, we have hemorrhoids, whatever. Like, we talked about everything. And then for her to just not be there, it was fucking traumatic. You know what I mean? So it can be very traumatic. And even though for you, I know, and we both know, it was not used to manipulate or hurt. It was not meant to be that way, taken that way. But there are actual people out there that are doing that to manipulate. You know what I mean? It's like taking the candy away from a toddler, like you said. Literally. Like, you giving your toddler candy and then you're like, oh, give me that back. That's some fucked up shit, bro.
That is some fucked up shit.
You're an evil, cruel motherfucker.
Yeah. It makes me think of, like, what I was trying to say. I don't know if you ever seen the movie The Little Rascals, and she goes, "What is it? How are you ashamed?" Huh?
They didn't have a few movies, or they just had one movie?
Like they have multiple because it's older, but I mean, like, the 90s one. And she goes,
just as I thought, you are ashamed of me. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm proud of you. Open up. I just don't want anybody to see you. Well, that doesn't, mister. I'm out of.
What's wrong? Are you ashamed of me? He's like, no, I'm not ashamed of you. I love you. I just don't want anybody to see you. I was like, what? That's the same fucking thing. She was fucking traumatized. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You don't want to be around me, you love me, but you don't want anybody to see. It's just like, I'm sorry, that's what it made me think of.
The fuckery has been happening for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, baby, exploiting. Okay, we're at exploiting. Did I go to the red flags? So isolation tactics description was trying to cut you off from friends and family. So the red flags is discouraging you from hanging out with loved ones, stirring up drama with people close to you, and making you rely on solely them. Okay. Yeah, boy, I remember, like, even when, you know, we had our separation moment, that was definitely used against me. Like, even your friend don't want it. Like, I was just like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Yes.
How even can you say that? Like, okay.
I was hurt, girl. Life is lifing. Life is lifing, and that was the way he handled it. Yes, like it was like the extra. It was like the battery on the back. You know what I mean? It was so bad.
The twist of the knife or the twist of the knife.
Kicking you while you down.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fucked
even
up.
when I had the situation with my niece, even if he didn't say it like that, he showed me that you showed me you were kicking me while I was down. You didn't even.
Yeah, I can relate. I guess
I just know karma is gonna be grim. That's all I know, boo. And I love that.
Yeah, that's similar to like my situation where, like, unfortunately, I have kids with that person where the aspect of them kicking you when you're down, he's considering punishment. I can't even get my fucking words out. He's punishing me for leaving. Like anything that has to do with assistance as far as like, is it called rearing of children or disciplining? Or anything, not even just that, or any type of need.
Or parenting.
And I've done it,
parenting in general.
And I've done it for so long by myself. But, anytime I ask him of something, it's like, well, I'm not here. I'm not in the vicinity to, do nothing. And it's like, what the fuck? That's manipulation. It's like, you're only telling me you're only going to be assisting. You're only going to be helpful if I say, I give and put myself back in that situation. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I don't want to do it. Like, I'll just, I'm kind of fucked if I'm fucked. But that's an aspect of like, the whole manipulation. It is. That's a mastermind shit, right? That's some mastermind.
There's some masterminds out there. There's some masterminds out there, y'all.
Yeah.
And I can give a little grace and say some of them they don't even know that they are. 90% of them do. 90% of them do. They do. They catch on to their own shit.
I have the grace. That's why I have grace. I wait until, like, I have grace because some people, they don't realize that sometimes it can be top behavior, and I don't know if it's their subconscious doing it. But once I know that you're knowingly being manipulative, that's game over. That's fucking game over.
Oh, yes. I remember saying, specifically, you know what? I would look at him and be like, you know that I love you. And you're going to keep doing this to me because I'm going to let this go right now. And you're going to do it again. I know you are. I used to tell him I knew what he was doing. Like, I know what you're doing. But because I love you, I'm going to let it go. And you're going to do it again. And that's going to be my fault because I stayed.
Yeah, I would say the part where I'm probably guilty of it is like once I knowingly know, it's like I call their bluff. Because a lot of times they're bluffing. They're not, like, at least in my situation, they'll be like trying to give you, those little ultimatums or threats. And I don't claim to be the poker champ or card champ, whatever. But I kind of know, okay, call the person's bluff. And a lot of times what happens with my exes, they'll be like, trying to be manipulative. And then I'm like, okay. And if I'm the problem, but then it ain't, I was never the fucking problem. And then they end up at my fucking door, they're stalking me or some weirdo shit. So I was like, was I really the problem?
Right.
No.
But even that was
yourself and get therapy.
Even that was done to me. Even that tactic was done to me. Like, you'll call my bluff. Like, you're gonna leave. Like, and I'd be like, you really gonna let me go? Like, it was a lot, but it's okay today.
Yeah.
It's okay today.
Yeah.
Cause Grimmy's gonna be brimming.
Yeah.
We're at, we did 9. Validation seeking and flattery. Description: consistently fishing for compliments while showering you. Okay, start over, Pearl. Constantly fishing for compliments while showering you with them.
So what does the fishing for compliments mean? Like, can you give me an example of that?
Let me think. So,
is it for them or for you? Towards you? Like, I'm confused.
They're fishing for compliments. Like, they're doing gestures, body language, stuff like that. So I remember him saying, so let me say this. I remember him saying that his ex-wife used to, like, be in the mirror, like, and just like be in the mirror, like, trying to check herself out next to him hoping that he was, and he knew that she was hoping he would say, "Hey, you look nice," but he would not say that to her. Yeah, he wouldn't tell her. Yeah, it was fucked up. That was fucked up. But for me, it was very reverse psychology. I'm telling you, the reverse psychology was at all-time high. For me, it was like, oh no, people never said I was fine. I never heard that. Like the people that actually, the women said that I was fine were like women that I wasn't attracted to, like fat women and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, the fact is that I've learned to love your weirdness. I've learned to love your quirkiness. I've learned to adore you. So I chose you as my partner. So of course I'm going to tell you you're fucking fine. That is my responsibility as your woman. And I know that I know that my energy is all over you. So of course you're going to be fine to me. You know, the fact of the matter is that you were a little twerp when I met you, and I did not see any of those things in you when I met you. Okay, it took, and I'm not being cruel, guys. It took me to learn to love. It took me to learn to see past the things, that surface level things, like the mental things. It took me to be like, you know, because I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover, I want to pour, I want to, you know, the whole pick me energy, the whole save a whole energy. I want to be that. I was that person, you know what I mean? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love very deeply. I still pour in very deeply. I still nurture very deeply, but I'm just fully aware of the reverse psychology that he played. You know, people don't tell me that. People don't tell me I'm fine. Like, I don't get that. And I'm just like, what? That's crazy. Like, you fine, nigga? You know? Sorry, guys. I don't mean to say nigga, but, you know, I apologize for that. I don't want anybody to take that in, like, because apparently people are sensitive, so.
Right. My exes, I would say, well, I'm starting to learn some things about myself. You know, I recently got into contact with a family member of mine. And so, well, you know, and so I know I'm learning that, because I've always seen myself as a bit of, you know, oddball and what's the word, a tomboy and, you know, stuff like this. But they told me, like, no, you're very feminine. Like, your energy is very, very feminine. Right. So I noticed, like, with my exes in the past, I've never experienced it where they required me to tell them things like that. Okay. So I've never, not that I haven't, obviously, you know, you're in love with, but it's like, I don't want to say they already knew that, whether they looked at or not, they already had established a confidence thing. So that wasn't something that they can necessarily use as manipulation. But the reverse is, I know I'm hot, I know I'm fine, I know I'm this, that, and the third. Because they are, for the most part, I'm not surface level, but for the most part, they are really attractive men. But they never required that. They always had, you know, the bitches, the fucking bitches and shit. But they would, I think, on their end, because I don't really look at myself a certain way, they felt that it was more comfortable for me to keep that energy that way with me. Because should I know, you know, that I am this way, then,
that you're gorgeous, that you're fucking dope as fuck, that you're I can go on and on.
I know. And that's the blessing. I will say that's the blessing.
That's the thing, like,
no, I was saying it's a blessing because you actually, like, celebrate, and it's not, it doesn't feel off. I'm off. Clearly, I'm off, but it doesn't feel off. So it's appreciated. So go ahead.
So this is the thing, right? I don't get me wrong. Obviously, there were things that attracted me to that individial, right? There were things that I was like, oh, I like that. You're weird. Oh, I like different. I don't want basic, you know. But when I knew that he started telling on himself when we would have, like, issues, and then he'd be like, I'm a catch. Like, and he's like, I might not look all that, but I'm a catch because I buy you things and I pay for things, and I was just like, now I really know what's up. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that yes, I'm a woman, very, very feminine. Yes, I live in my dark feminine, but I'm still very fucking feminine. And I do require the person that I made my partner be like, bitch, you fine. You know, and not only tell me I'm fine, like, treat me like I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat me like a basic bitch, because I'm not.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form. And in the beginning, it was a lot of like all of that, and I was like, yes, tell me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I get it all the time, like, right? Words of affirmation don't even do it for me anymore, just because when I needed it from that individual, I didn't get it. So it was like, I don't want it from nobody else. You know, like, I want it from my partner. It doesn't matter what I can see. I'm not blind. I know what's up. I know who I am. I know what I'm carrying. I know you know what I mean? I know Pearl. You know what I mean? I know my evolution. So the validation it only means something to me when it's coming from somebody I actually love. And you know what I mean? So, and he knew, like, he stopped doing that altogether. And I just like, what's up? Like, he's like, oh, I'll do better. Like, bitch, why you gotta do better?
Just do it. Yeah.
Like, and I didn't realize that it was just another way of like making me chase him.
Yeah.
For the attention and everything that seek him for all the things that he showed me in the beginning. I was like, what the fuck? How does it go left? And every time it's going left, it only gets worse, because it's like I keep asking, and he's like, why you keep asking for the same things? Girl.
This is a lot. It's a lot.
That individual is fucked around. Y'all.
Yeah.
Fucked around. It was a whole brain fuck going on. it fucked around. And I feel bad for, I don't give a damn. I keep trying to tell y'all, I'm warning y'all, that you would never be her, him, her. I don't give a fuck. If you're him, you might be. But if you're her, it's always gonna be a fucking problem. I'm telling you. I've had time to sit with this shit, dog, and like I've had time to reflect and be like, damn, there was a lot of telling. There's a lot of telling. So that's the thing, is like there's some that shit is real, bro. So okay, so red flags: regularly needing reassurance, over the top flattery, and making you feel uncomfortable with their praises. So yeah, I can see how that can seem to be, I can see how that can make awkward people feel uncomfortable getting compliments. I think that he used that a lot, and I think that he used that awkwardness of his to his advantage.
Pearl, what if he was never like, okay, this is gonna sound crazy. What if that's not, you know what I'm about to say? What if that's not even like now that you guys are together, what if that's not his personality? What if it was all like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like that quirky nerd. You know what I mean? What if that's not him at all? At all. But he used it to like,
it wasn't.
I mean, I'm having a down. No. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of how to explain
understand what you're saying. Like, what if everything I went through with this person, I seen two sides: the side that I fell in love with, and the side that the narcissistic, dysfunctional, destructive, mind-boggling person that I had to leave. But the reality is, like, what if that's not even him? Like, he, like, multiple personalities, like. Multiple personalities.
Like whoever's in the chair for the moment, that's who's operating the vehicle.
Bro, thought about it.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Thought about it because I've seen it.
Well, like
I've seen it in him. The potential.
Yeah, my ex. Okay, so when we were first together, he wasn't like. He wasn't this. He was always nice looking, but he wasn't like into like metro shit. You know what I mean? That wasn't. We were, you know, he did a lot of sports. He played a lot of like different stuff. Very like manly shit, I guess what you would call it.
Right.
And so it feels like he put on all of these false costumes that aren't sustainable to who he really is. So it's like, when I seen him, it's like, damn, what happened? Like, what the fuck happened? You know, what did the fucking world do to you? Like, in my head, I'm like, you used to be so fucking cool, but I think that's the aspect of the karma. Like, it's an illusion what you buy into. Like, you buy into this illusion and you don't give a fuck about who you hurt, and it makes you age real bad.
Yeah. The grim, honey. It's the grim, honey. It's the grim. It's the grim. There's no avoiding it. It's the grim. So, like, shit, there was something I want to tell you, but I also doried on that part. So, okay. So, from what I gather, because, you know, no contact. I have to. You know, I have no contact, no nothing. Like, I have to. It's a must.
For your mental health, shit.
But the fact is that dealing with a narcissist, they play too many games. You know what I mean? So they play too many mind games. They would never change. They're not going to change. And the fact that because I'm an empathetic, loving, graceful, like I just want to love. I just want to, and I was in love with that man. There was no denying that. Like even with I saw past all of it all because I love that man. I was addicted to the highs and the lows. I was addicted to him. Like, what's that word? When they get rid of you, like he would get rid of me, bring me back. It was addictive.
Discard.
It was discard. Yeah, he would discard me, bring me back. It was addictive. It was a high that broke me. It broke my spirit. And the no contact is so that way he doesn't have access to me, and he can't do that. For me.
I feel you.
I
feel you. Yeah,
I had to.
I would say, like, you ever seen Birds of Prey? It's the Harley Quinn movie. You never seen it?
No, babe. I know you like Harley Quinn.
So, no, it's okay. But in the movie, you know, I think he like fucks with her head and finally leaves her.
I did good. I even went to college, got my PhD, had my heart broken once or twice. Finding love, it's not easy. So I threw myself into my work, became a psychiatrist. That's when I met him. Mr. J, my joker. Oh, I fell hard. Like, out of a plane without a parachute right in your dumb fucking face kinda hard. I lost all sense of who I was. I only had eyes for pudding. We all know the saying, behind every successful man, there's a badass broad. Well, that was me. I was the brains behind some of Mr. J's greatest stunts. Not that he let anyone know it. I guess all good things have to come to an end. So, we broke up. I handled it real mature, but Mr. J...
And, like, she's, like, going through it, and then she finally be like, fuck it, I'm done. But it's the mental mind game of, like, you know, I would do anything for you. I would have given my life. Yeah. And that's literally their story. She had her own career. Right. I hate to get nerdy on y'all. She was a psychologist, and he used all of these tactics to turn her to his side just so he can play with her and do all of this crazy shit to her.
So sad.
But it's like once you get free, you can't go back into those tactics.
Yeah.
You can't get back into those tactics. The thing is, also, just to say, when Harley Quinn left the Joker, she's not with Poison Ivy.
Ooh. That makes motherfucking sense, bitch.
Boom. So, plot twist.
I gotta watch it now, babe. Now I gotta watch it.
It's a good movie. Well, that's not in the movie. That's like in comics and shows and shit. But yeah, she's with her now. Yeah, she's with her now.
She is. It makes sense. It makes absolute sense.
Oh my God, that's kind of our personality, isn't it?
That's kind of our story. It's kind of weird.
Now that I said, wait a minute.
But yeah, so the no contact thing. So, but from what I hear is like he has this macho energy all of a sudden. Like, girl, I remember we used to be on. Girl, he would tell himself, like, girl, he want to be somebody he not, and I already know that. Like, he'd be like, what if I give veneers? Like, girl, he's like, I don't want to keep exposing, girl, because it's bad. It's bad. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you literally want to be somebody else. What if I get surgery to make myself taller, shit in his feet so you be tall? Girl, it was bad.
Oh my God, I've experienced that with my last boyfriend.
It was bad. How do you tell that to somebody who adores you as even though the short, quirky, acne infested, all of that person, I adore you, I love you, and you want to be somebody else. For who?
Yeah. For
who are you trying to? Not for yourself, because you don't even know yourself. You don't even have an identity of your own, my dude.
Yeah, my last my last boyfriend, he was a little high challenge. But not to me, because if y'all know, I'm 4'11", so everybody's taller than me, so it doesn't count. But he was on the shorter side. He was bald. Typically, I like dudes who have hair, lots of hair. So I'm like, so
you were bound to go through the shit that I went through with that nigga. Like, you are bound. Now we know what to stay the fuck away from.
Right. And he was like, I need to be taller. I want to get my hair back. And I was like, I just accept you for who you are. Like, what the fuck? Now you about to send me on a whirlwind after I already... Like, okay, so this is what women do. And I hate to say this, and I hope I'm not giving our playbook out.
Ridiculous.
We will accept, if we're getting the feels, we'll accept a 5. We'll accept the 5 or lower.
Sad, but
in our head, once we love you, you're a 10 no matter what you got going on. I promise you. No matter what you got going on downstairs, upstairs, you're a 10 to us. That's why if you look into the friend group chat, we're very skeptical about when we show our man to somebody. We be trying to find the prettiest or the nicest picture because our friends can be like, girl, you're way out of his league or something like that, but we love that dude.
But
look like the bottom of her shoe. You know what I mean?
It's so true. On that end, girl, I seen Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish. Yeah, her. She was like, girl, she killed it. She's like, girl, I'ma play it because this is fucking hilarious. I think I might want you to play this in the podcast because it was fucking hilarious.
She recently came out and just said, I'm just only with the girls. Kaylani, she's like, I'm only with the girls now.
Watch. Hold on.
You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world. I swear to God. Because they got a hot girl, they can be horrible. Like, you're still ugly, though.
Tie apart.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother, that's a thing that I had to deal with. I'd be like, nigga, do you not like, he was not protective at all, honey. He was not a protective person at all.
You start to question your own shit.
Like these bitches, I've seen these bitches. I've seen everything these bitches do, and because I gave this twerk something, he must got something going for him. Of course they're gonna think like that because these motherfuckers are transactional.
It's crazy.
And the reality is that Pearl is not transactional at all. There's nothing. I don't require transaction. That shit comes a dime a dozen for me, okay? That comes with the territory. I require depth. I require substance. I require for you to fucking level the fuck up. Right. The shit that I require, most motherfuckers will tap out for because they don't want to do the work. It requires work.
I think for me, in my situation, I was just a late bloomer. And what I mean by, you'd be like, she had kids. She had kids. No, I was like a late bloomer still as far as like womanhood goes. And I was like talking to somebody the other day, like, he really fucked up because I didn't peak yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of ways I haven't even peaked yet. Like when I was younger, I was still very, that way. And so now I was in no shade. I'm a girl's girl, but I was looking at like the women that he dealt with before. And I was like, you fucked up. You fucked up because it's like, they're quick to trade you in for, whatever the fuck hoopty, and they don't even know, like, what your full potential is. But
this man would literally talk about the lashes, the wigs, the mad black woman syndrome, all of these things. He would talk about his own women, his own black women like they were less than, but yet he was married to one and he has a daughter.
But I feel like that's some Ohio shit.
Who's struggling with identity issues her to himself because she's learning it from her parents. That part.
No shade. I feel like that's some Ohio shit.
It's the truth.
I feel like I feel like it's some Ohio shit because that's the way his mentality was, and I was like, ooh, you need to get around some other people or out of the country, because that has not been my experience as I guess a black woman at all.
Right.
At all.
And it's crazy. He used to complain about it, and then I had to tell him, like, hey, like, if you don't like, he's complaining about his daughter, stuff like that. I helped him navigate that relationship with his kid when the divorce drama was happening. Significantly, I significantly navigate. I mean, word from word, verbatim from verbatim. He used to build a relationship with his daughter, and I used to tell him, like, hey, listen, if you don't start implementing these things, you're going to turn your daughter into the same woman that you don't like.
In what way?
The transactional.
Okay.
It was so many things, but it's just girl.
Yeah, I get it. Let me look at my notes. I'm over it.
Okay. Did we do secret exclusively creating a secretive bond? Okay, we didn't do 11. So 11. Secrets and exclusivity.
Oh yeah.
So my pronunciation sucks sometimes. Description: creating a secretive bond to isolate you. He tried it, but I wasn't. I'm too known. Like, Pearl is too known, and Pearl's too loud, and Pearl is not loud in like obnoxious way, but my presence is loud. I can't be secretive. And
I would say maybe that's more on my end, huh?
Because you're quiet. You're more of a quiet person, but your energy is loud too. You just do everything not to be loud, and it makes you even louder. Just so you know. Yep, it makes you fucking louder, girl. Because I remember. Okay. Red flags. Insisting on keeping things private, making it seem like it's you two against the world, and fostering a sense of exclusive secrecy.
Oh shit. I got a story.
Ooh, let me hear for it. Let's go.
I got a story.
So, I can't really relate to that too much. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I can. But it's kind of embarrassing, so y'all better not clock me in the comments.
Ooh,
okay?
gosh. Older. Go ahead, baby. I'm listening.
So, the same ex that I mostly talk about, because that's, the prominent situation. So, he has had a temper issue and a controlling issue and a stalking issue. And so he fucked my car up one time, right?
Yeah.
And he was, I mean, like, fucking demolished,
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, we're just gonna put it in the garage and hide it so your family can't see it, because it's just me and you figure this shit out. I will say this now. My mom called his mom up and cussed her out because she
could see the damn car in the garage.
Right. She was like, why didn't you tell me that, your son did this to my daughter's car, as, we're together, but still. She's like, why are you promoting the secrecy? And it was like, because I was in on it. He's convincing me, like, oh, we got to face this situation together, when, bitch, that's my vehicle.
Right.
But I was convinced, my man. These are my stupid years. You know what I mean?
Girl, yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
I was in my early 20s, 19, 18, so y'all don't come for me. But
of course,
I was like, my man.
Young.
But such an idiot, bro. Such a fucking idiot.
Yeah, they would do that to you. They would. So I can say this. So, I can say that he definitely, it was a lot of places towards the end that, I want to say, even in the middle, I'm about to sneeze. Even in the middle of, hold up, I sneeze loud, y'all.
God bless you.
Ooh, thank you, baby girl. I can say, even in the middle, he stopped hanging around a lot of people, right? And acting like he didn't, like those people didn't align with him no more. He outgrew these people, whatever, right? Even talk shit about these people. I mean, seriously, talk
wow.
shit.
Wow.
To me. So I was like, okay, if you ain't with it, I ain't with it. Cause I'm that person. Like, if my person ain't with it, I ain't fucking with it. We ain't with it together, okay?
Yeah.
Even though nobody did shit to me. And I didn't realize that was also a manipulative thing. He wanted to keep me away from these people, places, and things because he didn't want them to see what he was doing to me emotionally, especially. He didn't want them to see that. He didn't want to be exposed. He didn't. He would say I would embarrass him or stuff. No, that's not it. I reacted.
Well, how can you embarrass him?
Right. I react to your abuse, and it's called reactive abuse, guys. Okay, that is what happens in a lot of manipulative relationships. There's a lot of reactive abuse. You react to their abuse. Nobody else knows that it's abuse but you, because you know it's hurtful. You know what's going on. You know when and he started to stay away from these people that we were like mutual friends with or mutual associates with. He even stopped talking to people that was actually like Team Pearl, that he knew, that were his like confidants. He stopped talking to them overall. These people were the people that would be like, hey, I'm reminding you who this woman is to you because this is who you told me she is to you. So when did she become this to you? And he stopped communicating with those people overall. And
they're holding him accountable.
Oh yeah. He didn't want to hear that because he had other agendas, other motives. And then now that we haven't been together, he's around these people again. He's starting, you know what I mean? Acting like he Don Juan and he ain't.
Wow.
He actually doodle.
Wow.
I think I'm being nice actually, but he's nobody. But you know, he went and got tattoos. You cannot. Let me tell you something. One thing first. He cannot hide behind those tattoos. You cannot tattoo that fucked up, dysfunctional ass brain of yours, that fucked up heart of yours, because you ain't got one.
I
pure, pure fucking cruel. And then I know that I've been told that he's like, Pearl's hurting my feelings. She's hurting my feelings. She's talking about me on these platforms. No, I'm not. I'm speaking about my experience with an individual that intentionally broke my motherfucking heart with the most fucked up motives.
What's crazy is he's manipulating them.
Oh yeah, but they're the flying monkeys. You know why? Because misery loves company. So of course they're like, what happened with Pearl? The thing is, my whole life, people will always here for it. They're like, oh, they're here for all the negative shit. When things are going good, nobody's around. It's like, oh, y'all don't want to celebrate us, but y'all here for it when the shit falls apart, though.
Well,
and like, that's the kind of people I'm sorry to cut you off, babe. The pick me energies, the flying monkeys. Period. Like nobody cares about him and his well-being, and that's fucking real. Nobody cares about him and his well-being the way I fucking did.
Right.
And still do, unfortunately.
Missing in action.
Unfortunately, I still can say that I care about this individual, but I only care because I know that karma is grim. You know, like, how can you not care about somebody that you once loved?
Yeah, it doesn't
like,
go
how
away.
Can you not care about what kind of people he has around them, or what kind of people they have around them, or what kind of situations they're putting themselves in, especially the overcompensating. He overcompensates everything because he's a short person with acne on his face. You know what I mean? Amongst other things.
I hate you real bad. I hate you real bad.
So the overcompensation is at like $1 billion.
Oh my god, I hate you.
And I just feel so bad for him. I just feel like, oh my god, bro. Anyway, so yeah, that's that.
I experienced that similar too. Like my exes, which I was very grateful when I found out. So typically, like when I'm with someone, like our families do this. That's very important to me.
Yeah, it is important to me too.
His people, he would like bring his friends, his tight friend from younger days. He brought him over my brother and my sister-in-law's house. And when I first met him, he was at our apartment, me in his apartment. And here I am being like Susie homemaker, you know, serving plates, all of this. And that's huge to be like, what, in your early 20s and your girl doing that and you look like a king in the castle. And so we went over my brother's house and he pulled my sister-in-law to the side and said, you know, like, make sure she's taken care of because I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, I don't get it. And that was big for me because usually dudes don't speak up for, you know, when their friends being fucked up. And he like looked out for me like that because, well, his sibling did that too. His older sibling did that for me too, and that's rare. But
I don't believe in no way, shape, or form that his family ever defended me because he would like, even like when we had our first huge spat, he had his mom and his sister on the phone. And I was like, why are you doing that? Why do you have those women on the phone when this is between me and you? And he was screaming. They were screaming like I was about to kill this nigga or something. That's how they were acting. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I've let this man into my home. I've let this man into my home. I've poured into him, nourished him back to health because he was literally depleted when I met him. But now I'm this fucking bad guy. It was devastating, Amber.
I know.
It was so bad. Yeah. So because of that, like, his sister, I don't know why she kept trying. Like, I wanna believe it was she genuinely wanted to build a relationship with me, but now with time I realized that was never the case. It was more of a monitoring thing. She wanted to monitor me.
Yeah, surveillance you. You don't know if she ran back and told.
Because she used to do that to his ex. Like, she would look all kinds of shit up, like where this woman lived, where she worked at. Used to tell him everything. Like, she was a surveillance. Like, she was a spy. Like, she would do detective work. So it was like she was monitoring me and trying to be noise in my ear. She was definitely noise in his ear, but she was trying to be noise in my ear. And, you know, she has that pick-me energy. So everything was about soothing and pacifying him. It was never about, she's definitely not a feminist in no way, shape, or form. You know, she's definitely a pick-me. It was always about soothing him and compromising with him and conforming to him and his needs. And I was like, bitch, you got me fucked around because I am not that bitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I only do that if it's being done for me.
It just doesn't make sense. And then I can see like how she probably allowed you to like confide in her, and she probably run back till this.
Yeah, girl.
You know what I mean? Oh,
that would light me up. With me, his mom, like it was more like she was only doing it on the strength of him. You know, the key fakeness and shit. But it was not. It was never real. It was so sad because I was genuinely I was a genuine person. Even when I asked him, hey, like, could you like see what's up with your mom? Like, why she's not speaking? And he told her like, hey, you know, Pearl wants to know why you're not like reaching out anymore and stuff. And she said, oh, well, I can't ever unthink about the time that you guys had that first spat. And instead of him defending me, he told her, well, I understand that's how you feel. I have to respect how you feel. Instead of saying, well, remember who she is to me. Remember the woman that she, you know, I should have never did that. That should have been between us. Like, the woman's been good to me and I'm your son, you know.
You know what? I'll tell you something.
He definitely did not defend me. And we even had I cried about that. I was like, you didn't like defend me. He's like, what? I have to respect how she feels. That told me that he had no intentions on like allowing us to heal our relationship and being a part of that healing journey.
My dad, when I was younger, and I was in that relationship, I would go to like the men in my life for guidance and stuff like that. And they were very close to him, so they weren't going to be like biased. And I remember me and him were arguing, and I called my dad up, and my dad was like, I'm about to hang up the phone on you. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you about to hang up the phone? He's like, because one, that's y'all's business. Two, he won't be able to look at me the same because he'll think I'm like, you know, low-key the op. And three, like, you're, what did you say? You're castrating him or something like that, as if I'm gonna come and be the police. So my dad, I will say, my dad checked me, was like, don't call me for no shit like that. Like, you got kids with him. So it's important that, like, you know, and granted, I didn't mean it in a negative. I was really crying out for help, but this is just me being transparent. It's important that, like, parents, if they're not just parents, but like, you just check people when they're wrong. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that he was checking me when I was wrong. I didn't know I was wrong, but I'm grateful. And you know, we did hang up the phone because he's like, I know you're arguing, but I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt the same. I told him that too. I was like, you know, what would have been normal, and I knew it wasn't normal, is when they were amping the situation that with our first spat. They were amping it up, worsening it. They were making it worse instead of hanging up the phone, like, or he had them on the phone before he even came upstairs. They could have been like, yo, handle that. Go talk to Pearl. Like, y'all figure that shit out. Give us a call when y'all good. No, that would have been healthy, but instead they was like, "Oh, keep us on the phone." Like, oh my god, like I was like, "Why are they still on? Why are you talking? What the girl?" It blew my mind. It made me even more mad because I was like I'm a danger to you, but you live in my house.
Yeah, that means that the bond was not genuine. I will say that because, like, yeah, I think when we were younger, like, even that's why, you know, there was some checking on both ends with family where they were like, no, you can't just be doing, because the bond was like legit. Like, you know, put in the time and the work for the bond.
Yeah.
I would say if you don't have that, it is going to suck.
Yeah.
It is going to suck because, and that's where I think the old school kind of way as far as like is important, because they're going to sit you down and they're going to be like, hey, you fucked up. That's not even on them. And from a place of love. Like,
but it was always an attack on him. So he just, anybody that spoke on, hey, you fucked up to him, he cut him off. They weren't around anymore.
Well, that says a lot about him, and that says a lot about the people that are like entertaining him now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Let's go to 12. Rushed intimacy. Did we say the red flags for 11? Inciting and on keeping things private, making it seem like it's usually. Yeah, we said that. So number 12 is rushed intimacy. Description: pushing for closeness way too soon.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. So I will say that's hard for me.
Yeah,
that's really hard for me because I have to move like energetically. Yeah. So I will say, like, for them, they did have to put in some grafting or some work, because I can't force things. But I will say, once that happened, that's when the fuckery began. It was like, green light, let's start tripping.
Yeah. Well, I definitely could say, when I think back, that it was definitely, I was pursued. You know, he asked me to go have brunch with him. I met him. Actually, I tried to cancel on him that day. And he was like, oh, hell no. Because his son was in town or whatever. And he was like, after church, I'm going to go see my son or whatever. And then, you know, let me know when you're done, because I had to go get my nails done. So when I let him know I was done, he was still said that he was, you know, with his son or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. We could just replan it. Like, I just wanted to avoid it all the way. Like, I was just not here for it, because I was good. I was good. Huh? I can't hear you. Okay, it's on now.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for it, and he was very like, oh hell no, I'm coming now. Like, meet me there now. So when I got there, we were eating. You know, I fed him, because, you know, like, I just flow like that. Like, it wasn't nothing. Honestly, I don't do that for everybody, but it was just like, oh shit, tasting this is good. You know what I mean? Like, here. He's
a romantic, and that's okay.
Right. And he was like, he said to me that was the first time a woman's ever like fed him anything, but I think that's bullshit too. Yeah, I think he was just using all of these, like, you know, smooth talking shit to, like, and he did it. He won me over. Like, it was like, not that I knew that it was some bullshit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you're fucking 40 something years old. Come on. I don't want to hear that. Like, if you ain't ever had that says a lot about you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just kind of like overlooked it, and then like he pushed me close to him, like he grabbed me by my hip and like pushed me, slid me up closer to him. I was staying my distance. Obviously, he pushed me close to him, so I would stay there, you know. And I was like, okay, I was embracing the affection. Then, like when I, you know, we walked, and then he walked to my car and he gave me a kiss, and I was. At the time, I want to say again, I was lacking boundaries. I was lacking a lot of things because I was such in my healing space and my healing bubble. I wasn't aware of these type of people and their motives. I had no clue. So it was just like, oh, I deserve this. You know, like, I deserve a man to be into me like that. You know, I was married for 18 years. I didn't get that kind of attention like that. So that kind of attention like wooed me in. And but when I think about it now, like the definitely it was rush intimacy there. Now the way I move, if it's not organic, it's the access to me is so fucking barely there with the male species that I really like. You show me one thing, it could be via text, and I'm like, oh hell no. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not with that. Like I know the signs. Even if you can tell me how genuine you are till your face turns blue, if you can't show me how genuine you are, then I'm not here for it. Like the words don't mean shit to me. Your words, the words of affirmation don't mean shit to me. It has no leverage. It has nothing. It has no substance to me. Nothing. So I can say that was definitely something that I know now that I will definitely like. I won't allow somebody to do to me. If I now appreciate the people that are in my life that I met, you know, here and there, and then. You know, we organically got close. I appreciate those people, you know, even including you. I appreciate how organic, even though we talk every day and everything and how we've evolved, how organically that was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh my God, it makes sense. Take your fucking time. Take your fucking time. There's no rush.
No.
Yeah, granted.
Rush.
No, there's no fucking rush. I don't have any motives, intentions, nothing. And like, so the red flags: moving quickly in the relationship, pursuing you to open up too fast, and creating situations that force intimacy. I know, like, it took so much to get you. It's like with you, Amber, it's like peeling layers. Peeling an onion, literally layers upon layers upon layers. And I, as your friend, as your sister, that comes before anything else. The work that it took was worth it, and it's still worth it. It's still worth it. It takes work to build friendships and in relationships and the evolution and all of those things that come with it. Today, like, I still have so many layers that I have to peel through with you.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. It's just, it's worth it. It's worth it. And it's worth it in any relationship to take your time and get to know that person. Like, intimacy is not even that big of a fucking deal. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as like sex, it's really not. Don't get me wrong. No, you know, sex is important. When I pick a partner, sex is very important to me. The fact is, though, it's not the number one thing. It's actually like it's not on top on the list. You know, it's not. You know, it's not top on the list. But peeling back those layers is intimacy for me.
Yeah, I'm working on. I had to work on the giving somebody which layer to pull back again. Or like even just volunteering. Lately I have. You
have to be receptive
to work on that,
the fact
people,
that
if I love
person's
them,
doing the work, pulling back layers.
Well, you get what I mean. Like, some people, I'm going to be honest, some people don't know where to start with me. That's just being honest. So like, I am literally, it's like dealing with the Wednesday Addams. I always bring her up. That's what it's like dealing with. Like, you don't know where you're going to get. And if I'm not...
I'm sorry, it just kept freezing, but I know that it's not going to show that on the podcast. But go ahead, baby.
Yeah. No, I was saying, like, I know it, like, it probably sucks, but that's just, like, the kind of Wednesday Addams in me where, like, some people will just kind of catch the little riff and they'll know, like, okay, well, let me explore this little detail or something like that. And then sometimes I speak on it more, and then other times I kind of wait for the right moment. But I am working on letting my loved ones in more. I'm working on it, yeah.
Then it's a beautiful thing. Let's see the growth. Yeah. I'm here for it. Well, that's what love is about, though, right? So, love, like, it's all about work at the end of the day. So, how to protect yourself? Okay, trust your gut. If something feels off, listen to that inner voice and investigate. Don't, in no way, shape, or form, don't feel any way about if your gut, if something feels off, right? Don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to ask, hey, this feels off to me. What is this? To that person that you feel is manipulating you. If they're avoiding that deep conversation, that deep connection, they're avoidant to it, they're manipulating you. If you don't fucking run from there, you got a long lesson to go. You got some lessons to learn in that situation if you don't listen to your gut. Set boundaries. Keep your boundaries firm and don't hesitate to enforce them. So the thing is that as you evolve, your boundaries evolve.
Yeah.
Boundaries are to protect yourself. There's boundaries to protect yourself. Yourself, your being, your spirit, you know, the person you are is set there to protect yourself. But you also, there are boundaries that you have set in place for the people in your life. Those are to protect yourself and those people that you love. So that nobody fucking gets hurt, nobody feels screwed, nobody feels none of those things. I feel like a lot of people, they set boundaries and it's only to protect themselves. And in reality, you're not by yourself, especially if you're in a partnership. If you have a partnership, y'all should establish boundaries as a partnership and then have your individual boundaries that align with those boundaries, so that way people are not getting fucked around and manipulated. Do you disagree?
Who, me? No.
I'm asking for your perspective. Do you feel like I'm right? Do you feel like I'm wrong? Do you have your own opinion on that?
As far as like boundaries and stuff?
Yeah, setting boundaries.
Well, I feel like this. I feel like, and I understand I'm probably like what's it called? Maybe like a slow burn or whatever. But I feel like telling your partner where you're weak at is probably the strongest idea to do, rather than avoiding telling them where your weak spots are. Because I think that's kind of like the way most people, they set boundaries of protection, as far as like, I'm going to protect this aspect of myself because I'm not ready to do this, or I don't want to do this, which is unhealthy. But I feel like you have to show your partner where you're weak at, so they know where to block, or they know where they can execute different situations. But I think a lot of times people go into things and not taking their time, but they go into things still as individuals, not in a partnership. You know, not in a partnership. And it does take time. But at the same time, it's like, it's more of taking the wall down over putting the wall up, I feel.
Seek outside opinions to trusted friends or family for reality check. Guys, listen. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're not going to trust nobody. You're not going to trust anybody with what's going on in that relationship. You're not going to trust because your reality is distorted. You can't even rely on your own reality, and that's the sad part. So all I can say is use your discernment. Listen to your gut. that's the only thing you really can't rely on, because I honestly can say for myself, I started therapy when I was in that relationship, but I didn't start therapy because I thought I was dealing with a narcissist, because I had no idea. I started therapy because there was aspects of me that started coming up that I worked so hard not to come up, and I didn't want it to bleed into my new relationship. I thought I was the problem. I thought I was the issue. So luckily, because I'm 41 and I'm a very intelligent woman, and I do love myself enough regardless. I went into that relationship loving myself enough to honor my own mental health. So I got therapy. And I don't know, I didn't trust my parents. I didn't trust my siblings. If I had my best friend, she probably would have been the only one I trusted, but we were going through our own shit at the time. I'm only saying that because it's the truth. I didn't trust myself. So yeah, I didn't. The only one, even in my faith was shaken. I lost sight of my spirituality. I was doing everything to conform for that person. So I didn't have my own shit to stand on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. I feel bad for that person that I was.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Pearl. Like, I really do. I feel like I really have sympathy. I give myself grace, because that was a fucked up situation to be in, to deal with a person like that. Like, where I didn't trust myself. I literally didn't trust nobody. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. And have to endure that by yourself. Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one, and I didn't know that I wasn't the only one until I started. It's not even a trauma bonding thing. The divine started bringing people into my life that can relate and remind me that, you're not tripping. You're not tripping. This is a real thing. So educate yourself. Learn about manipulative tactics and stay alert. Take your time. Don't rush into anything. Take your time to truly get to know someone.
Yeah. And be careful with the conforming and stuff, because that definitely hits home, because, and not just because we're spiritual people, but you can't afford to get wrapped up or consumed in it, because that's your protection, that's your guard, that's your safety net.
Don't lose sight. Just don't lose sight of you.
It's the worst feeling.
And dealing with certain type of people,
you can't even go back to those things. Yeah.
That you're engulfed into them. You can lose sight of yourself so fast. So remember, true connections are built on respect, honesty, and uplift. Stay woke and protect your energy. Listen, do the fucking work. And pay a fucking attention. Stay woke.
Yeah.
That's really it. Stay the fuck woke. There are people preying on people that are sleeping. Because I was clueless to these type of people, I was definitely asleep.
Yeah.
I was definitely asleep.
I don't think
I
you
got
were
rude
asleep.
awakening.
Like a sense of your innocence was robbed.
It definitely was. It definitely feels like that innocent part of me was taken from me. Even though, you're going to hear people say, oh, don't give your power away, or don't give that person that much energy. I live in the real fucking world. I don't live in la fucking land, okay?
Yeah.
I live in the fucking real world. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm this, You
were robbed. Yeah, you were robbed. That's the way
you know what I mean? So, guys, I want to say this. The Spiritually Sexy newsletter, when I said that it's a little more brief, right? It is. It's just as depth. It has just as much depth as our podcast, but it's just a little brief. And I am very good at articulating on paper. I am not that great at articulating verbally. No, I know I'm a lot better on paper. Like, I get my point across without stumbling over my words and stuff like that. I'm just being transparent. Or babbling and being all over the place. Like, I can be sporadic. I know that. You know, we both can, because that's just our personality. But the newsletter, guys, it has just as much depth, if not more. So, you know, go ahead, subscribe to our newsletter, the Spiritually Sexy newsletter. That comes out, sometimes we put it out once or twice a week. Just look out for it, subscribe, and you'll get it. If you read the online version instead of the email, you can actually heart it. You can actually share it. We appreciate the support, guys. We are going to, and I've been holding off on charging subscriptions because we have a significant amount of subscribers now. And the crazy part is, Amber, is that even the Spiritually Sexy newsletter, most of the subscribers are males. Like,
beautiful though. I think that's so beautiful, like, and I hope we don't come off as like we're man bashing. Don't think that we're man bashing. Even in our union, we love men. We find
that's never
hope and try. Right. That's not, you know, y'all don't need to be in our personal life, but understand, like, we're still here for the boys. So don't think that there's anything like that. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just, to me, it's just so crazy when it comes to like suffering in silence. A lot of these men are suffering in silence.
Yeah.
Because men are not taught to be vulnerable. Men are not guided by pure intentional women like you and I. They're not.
Well, no, society didn't create a safe space for them. That's just being honest. Like, I was having a conversation earlier, like, you know, they push and force these things on them. That's just not fair. You know, it literally, the ideas come out of...
They buy into it, though. They buy into it. So they have to take responsibility for that. Yeah, they buy into it. And until they do the work, which I'm proud of the men that have subscribed, because they're actually doing the work. I hope that that's what that's for. I hope they're not doing it to find ways to reverse psychology, the shit that I'm putting on paper. Yeah. Because that's a conversation that's going to be had too, because I'm fully aware of the men that go get therapy, men that go to these like group meetings to weaponize it. I'm fully aware of the men that do that, because that was definitely my ex. So I'm fully aware of the people that do I'm on my healing journey just to learn how to weaponize the shit. Like, I'm fully aware of it. But if you are truly like on your healing journey and you find value in the things that, you know, Amber and I are putting out, we have gratitude for that. Like, we're here for it. We're here to help the journey, even in our own unscripted way. And I must remind you guys that, you know, we can only speak from our own experiences, and I keep going back to that. Like, I'm not here to like tear anybody down. It might, your perspective, right? It's all about perspective. How you see it from your lens. It might seem like that to you, but guess what? It's not coming out. It's really not. Not for me. It's not coming out as bashing. It's coming out as I'm only speaking from my experiences. And Amber only speaks from her experience. It's open dialogue. We're here to have these conversations that are tough. It is our healing journey as well. It's our processing the bullshit as well. Because when I hear myself talk, I'm literally processing the bullshit. Like, damn, that's some fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind, guys. My nose is running because I was crying. I hate that. Guys, listen. If you guys want to be a part of this podcast, have open dialogue, we're here for it. Like, Amber and I are like flowing right now because there's so much going on, and in anticipation for the Spiritually Sexy podcast, that right now we're like on everybody else's time. So we're just showing up for ourselves, and we're here for it. So thank you all for, you know, subscribing. Make sure that you go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like this video, share this video. Thank you for all our Facebook followers. We love you guys. Thank you for the support. You guys are hardcore, and we love you. Facebook, you are dope. Meta, get your shit together. Meta, get your shit together, okay, Meta? You are just as confused as my ex. Get it together. Amber and I are just thrilled to be here and speak about our experiences, and nobody can take that from us. So,
but if you want to speak about your experiences, come on
over.
The conversation.
You know, like we said, you could be anonymous. You don't have to show your face. You can start your newsletter. I have my link for the newsletter at the bottom of this video. I also have the link for you to get started in your own newsletter. You can actually have your own newsletter and start making some money. Okay? Yeah. Get with it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Get with it today. There's other videos like that has the link. Get into it. Yeah. We're here for it. We're here for the growth. We're here for the processing, evolving, doing the fucking work. So this is going to conclude this topic. Moving on. We're excited for the next topic. We're excited for future endeavors, and we want to say thank you again. So thank you. Love you. Come back and see us next week. Remember, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. the podcast drops. Every Friday at 12 p.m. is usually when our download drops. So if you have your notifications on, you know if we drop a download or not. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.